Something radical in either picks and bans or in the level 1 like they managed to do in game 1 is so important to WE. The crowd want to burst out. They want to support their hometown faithfuls. Love the Janna ban here. That is a change from game 2. That was the first pick, so easily answering all the engage. So we'll not have first pick Janna for Samsung.
Yeah, and I think what could be really interesting right here is who can control the Taric, because J has been so good on it. And if Rakan is down, it doesn't have as much value. The Gragas ban by Samsung is rather perplexing, but that's basically calling out a Sejuani ban.
Exactly. First pick Sejuani, if not banned. That seems to be what they're fishing for. And yep, it will just be the answering ban. Jarvan, Galio, both available. Very likely to be split up, and Samsung jumping on the Galio train.
But this does leave it open for Team WE to go Jarvan Taric, as long as Ben is comfortable playing around that style.
Oh, we're about to find out, because the Jarvan is currently being hovered, and there's the Taric as well. So let's assume those two get locked in. What is the next, phase? What do we start looking at? Because the AD carry pool is still very wide and very open as well.
You wonder if Samsung Galaxy gets in their heads a bit and just locks in Kog'Maw early here. It's the sort of thing that you can consider. It is, of course, the peel back comp with the Galio. Or if they get a bit more proactive, they can still return to the well for the 3rd time on the Varus. And speaking of the Kog'Maw, this will be a very early rotation Kog from WE.
I am
not convinced?
Disappointed in the Kog'Maw pick right here, because it means they are giving Jarvan over to Ambition, whereas if they take the Jarvan, they have so many tools to pinch Ambition's champion pool with the Gragas and the Sejuani already banned. I feel like, especially since Ambition is the leader for the team, that would be such a bigger move. But with that being said, Team WE goes back to the well. Hey, they won a lot with Kog'Maw before. They really want the pick, and they're terrified of Samsung picking it away. I just don't think they would have. Ruler's been picking Varus as a priority pick the whole time.
Returning to the well, but with the Galio gone, with some of the support gone, the well is looking a little bit barren compared to what was a bit more fruitful in the quarterfinals. They will still
get Jarvan.
They still get the Jarvan, which is kind of amusing to see, but Ambition didn't really have comfort on. It's not a big Ambition pick, so I do wonder where he will go, because there could be further jungle bans here from Team WE.
Well, didn't Team WE ban Kha'Zix as well a little bit earlier?
This will be the time. This will be the time. See, earlier when Galio was unavailable to pair with the Kha'Zix, we were like, I don't know about the Kha'Zix, but the big Korean duo is Kha'Zix Galio, because you can jump in, get the Galio ult. So Kha'Zix first ban here makes a lot more sense than the last time we saw.
Yeah, also though, the Jace and the Gnar are unbanned, and those are two things that I feel like Team WE is rightfully terrified of Cuvée playing. The Gnar hard carried a game, the Jace is pretty much unwinnable lane matchup for any of the picks that 957 would be able to bring out. And when you do use that one ban on the comfort pick, which Ambition was probably going to go for, you lose the ability to fully target out Cuvée.
You do wonder if WE will first pick on the red side the Gnar and accept the Kennen matchup if it is what Cuvée decides to take into it, like he has previously in the tournament. Only loss for Samsung this particular series was Kennen, but it is the standard matchup for Cuvée.
I feel like they're put into a corner where they have to. It was not 957's pick during the regular season. He did pick it last game, and I'm wondering if Samsung missed a ban here or if there is a timeout on it. Nope, it is the Malzahar.
I just got confirmation from production, visual bug with the timer. So they did manage to lock that in. It is the Malzahar. Allows us to jump back into the discussion of whether that Gnar comes in now or whether we see something for Xie that's fairly safe. The Taliyah is still open, but so is the Kassadin. Something that was very, very effective in game 1 this series.
Not really expected pick into the Galio, though, and many different approaches you can take into Galio. Lucian, a famous one from moons past. They're going to look at the Taliyah, try to make the map play. She had a good game on Taliyah in the past, but the thing about Taliyah, the reason why she's so highly prized is push and roam, push and roam. Galio is by far the prototype of the push and roam champion, and it's likely to be the mid lane matchup.
2 games played for Xie this tournament. He's gone unkilled,
Oh.
and Vision has locked in Lee Sin, and there's the Gnar that we expected.
This is a confidence pick. We saw the confidence pick, or at least the dice rolled yesterday, MLXG onto Lee Sin. Ambition has been playing Lee Sin as long as he has been around the game, even as a mid laner. His flex pick was Lee Sin in solo queue, so very experienced on it. And now 957 might find himself in this different kind of area where now he is actually on the pressure choice to counter matchup, but that is not how he usually plays.
And maybe, this draft is not what I was expecting to see from Team W whatsoever. I thought the Gnar would be something they could play. 957 had a great game on it last week against Cloud9. But if 957 is like, you know what, Kennen actually beats Gnar, and QV is a really good Kennen, I can see the logic behind it. But these are picks and choices that Team WE had available to them in the previous 3 games in the series and didn't go for. So a shift in mindset, or maybe just pure desperation by TWE in this draft phase.
And of course, losing on your signature champions, your quintessential comp, maybe that's what pushes them to this angle. But I do like the synergy. Jarvan, Ken, and Tarek running forward with Talia and Cog on the back end. But man, it is going to be on a nice edge, because if they mess that up, the reply from Gnar, Lee Sin, and Galio, you can see the team compositions on your screen. And the engage that Rakan can put down, the instantaneous engage.
Yeah, you can lock up with the Rakan, and that often can beat the speed of the Tarek ultimate, especially with that as a delivery system for Galio. It's not quite Jarvan Galio, but it's still a pretty good combo.
We'll find out whether or not Team WE can force another game, can get silver scrapes on that world stream one more time. Because if they do not, they will be eliminated at the semi-final stage. Team WE have got everything to prove, because this team composition and playstyle and flavor is not something that we would have expected or anticipated. But when your back is against the wall, you have no more room left to wiggle with. That's obviously where you can pull out those surprises.
This jungle pull targeted Ambition's Lee Sin is a fun one. Has not been played in a long time by Ambition. But I'm expecting him to be very proactive here. Proactive options for Samsung in every lane. Even though Kennen does answer very well in the laning phase to the Gnar, no reason that Lee Sin can't make a visit there, blow the flash on Kennen, just like we saw QV face in game 1. So a lot of playmaking open to Ambition. That tends to go one of 2 ways. It's not usually in the middle. Either really works out or it really does not.
Yeah, and even looking at some of the regional stats distributed at the World Championship so far, like the LCK teams have many more resources devoted to their top laners than any other region. And that could be mainly just due to the strength of the players up there. QV is a very good top laner. Longzhu came in playing around Khan. Huni as well is a player who can excel in that style. But that is what they are fully trending towards, especially with this team composition. You have the bot lane for Samsung, who are bringing a lot of engage, and then you have the Galio, who I'm actually expecting to cheat top lane more than cheat bottom lane as far as where the early roams and the early pressure is going to be. Because if QV gets so far ahead of 957 and starts creating that pressure, that prevents Team WE from being able to make good initiations happen.
A little bit of adjustment in the normal summoner spells. You'll notice that Rakan has taken Exhaust to try to answer the AP Kennen in particular when he comes into a team fight. So it isn't heal barrier bot side, which can mean that trading patterns that we're used to, where you have 2 defensive summoners on both the bot laners, can be a little bit different.
And of course, Ambition's always going to have the ability to kick him back once those team fights play out. We'll keep an eye on how effective it works out. Double relic shields for Mystic and Ben. Doran's shield, obviously, for Ruler's Varus. A little bit of a change from what we saw in the previous game. And now these 2 lane matchups, you can already see Mystic and Ben playing more defensive, playing more on the back foot, as the threat of this Varus Rakan is moving forward.
Yeah, it's a tough early laning phase for Ben and Mystic. They're going to have to withstand a lot of pressure early on. I mean, just the quick engage as well as the early level 2 is going to keep them shoved in. And then if Crown opts to roam bottom, that dive threat of Galio, Lee Sin, even before 6 is still pretty scary.
Terrified of the double entrance. Pop up from Core JJ, knock down, knock up from Crown. Oh, the combination is terrifying. Ambition, we'll pretend we didn't see that one. You're up 2-1 in the semifinals.
He's getting his eye in, guys.
Getting an eye, that's it, that's it.
It's got to lock in on Lee Sin like they've locked in on Team WE. But what I want to see from Team WE, if they want to make sure that they stay at the World Championship, is they can't be scared of what Samsung is going to do. They have to be making their own plays. Already, though, Core JJ's roamed after the level 2. They're going for it.
All right, that's a flash taunt coming in from Crown. Flash away from Xie. He dodges the Sonic Wave, but Samsung are not yet done. Flash forward, flash in. That's a 2-man knockup. Xie and Condi are in trouble. Condi's getting good damage down onto Ambition. The Resonating Strike connects. Winds of War tags. First blood picked up by Core JJ. Now Condi's forced to back out, and Samsung threw everything in the kitchen sink, but they got first blood.
And I love the fact that they saw double relic shield bot lane. We saw Mystic and Ben giving so much space, always moving back, giving so much respect to the bot lane. They said, why don't we rotate our engaged support through the mid, joined Lee Sin, whose gank pressure with Jie naturally tending towards the top side would have been minimal, and just cement a really clean first blood for Samsung.
Yeah, Crown just gets the taunt. They know it's a heal to Leah. He blocks behind him. That flash might have been Xie dying early, but this is one of those cases where Xie would have loved to have been able to path up. Probably should have actually pathed into the river so Cannon could have came to help, because CoreJJ makes a super smart play and breaking the blast cone, where Ambition does what he couldn't do to the Scuttle Crab, lands the final Q on Xie and gets the kill. Gentlemen,
correlation or causation, I let you decide. The team that secured first blood went on to win the game in all 3 previous games this series. Let's see whether or not that remains true.
Correlation.
Good knock-up onto Ben as CoreJJ finds that grand entrance. And Mystic and Ben, they at least push back that wave, but a few minutes of reprieve while CoreJJ was not in lane.
And usually, when you see a support pick up first blood in a roam like that, you wince a little bit, you say, okay, cool, would have gone better elsewhere. Remember, we still are in a game like this in an Ardent Sensor arms race, and being able to pick up the very early Nomad's Medallion, even if it's an extended laning phase, is going to be so much more income to the Rakan, and that's going to be a nice and early Ardent Sensor.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about strategy games and the economy match.
We had to talk about something. That was one-sided.
This is the late game investment already. Hey. It's the Ardent Sensor investment as well. I love Nomad's Medallion early upgrade. I actually think a lot of teams should do it even when racing for Ardent Sensor, because it is so much better than the tier 1 support item. So CoreJJ will be very rich when compared to Bentley.
Right, look at 957's HP. He's been bullied by Cuvée for the last few minutes. While he's remained even on CS, there's support coming on both sides of the rift. This will be a 2v3 as 957 no access to that slicing maelstrom. Level 5s are coming in. Flash away, gets the stun down and the knockback. 957 turns that around. Now into 2v2. The knockback from the seismic shove, and Shanghai erupts in noise. The Justice Punch is interrupted, and Kobe gets another one. Samsung lose 3.
Huge swing here for WE. Samsung thought they had complete run of the game, but WE read the situation so well. They were in position earlier, and they actually pick up 3 for 0.
And I love the fact that they don't wait for the dive, but instead flash away from the turret to kill Ambition before he can react. He's flashless. He flashes in to proc the instant stun into the knockup, and he doesn't have time to react.
From there, Xie can come join, instantly kills Cuvée, who did not have Mega Nod timing to begin all of this. Level 6 ping, last kill onto Crown. That's the moment the crowd have been desperate for 2 games in a row.
And not just the crowd, Team WE has been desperate for that. Now they technically have a point of strength on the map that they can think about playing around. 957 picked up 2 kills. Ambition is now set beside Condi. So if they can get topside control, that's something with which they can force plays.
And man, Team WE needs something magical to pull this one around. Crushed in game 2, strangled out of game 3, and now they're in an advantageous position with a great mechanical outplay. But to be fair, WE were responding as well. They saw the dive coming, and they had resources being allocated.
And they're obliging to what you mentioned, Jack. They're playing around their strong side, which is the top side of the map. And it's going back on Ambition.
Fight! Ambition's Lee Sin gets the hero's entrance as Condi's forced to flash for his life. The wall, I think, interrupted the Justice Punch. Xie gets another kill. Look at the volume.
Ours there, Kennan's chasing.
Xie's looking for some unworked ground. Gets off a couple of shots.
Watch for CoreJJ.
Doesn't find a target. CoreJJ gets the knockup. Hamilton escapes. Condi survives. Condi lives. And WE get another.
Momentum is in Team WE's favor right there. The narrow escape from Condi, infusing them with more confidence to continue to go for plays. The timing of his EQ as well, as CoreJJ had roamed up to try and get that kill. That pressure that should be getting built in the bottom lane isn't necessarily paying off in the way, and here's the start once again.
So Ambition tries to re-invade to his weak side because he has the hero's entrance. No interrupt comes. Watch the Weaver's wall here. He looks for an interrupt, misses it on Xie. He would not have been in range to kill off Ambition as fast. They were going to have their support react first. Samsung react first and lose out in the maximum way.
Oh, we're not going to see the magical outplay because it's tower dive time. Slicing Maelstrom into the knockup, and that done for the kill. Condi sends his regards. Ambition's looking for one back. But there's support. Shie's come up. Let's go for another tower dive, boys. Shie's got the backup of Condi. And 957, not going to be enough. Ambition gets one back, and WE, they've bitten off more than they can chew. Crown now making his way to the top lane as Ambition's looking for the Sonic Wave. He's got Dragon's Rage available to him. And the full combo could have burst down a kill. As we jump down bottom, the fights continue. Mystic has been burst down low. It was in a 2v1. The Chain of Corruption was used from Ruler, but WE maintained control, 2,000 gold leads.
Trying to keep that bottom lane equal as well, but so much of this action has just revolved around the top side. And whether or not Ambition is going to perform on this Lee Sin, the fact that he did turn around that dive at least keeps him in the game a little bit, because the snowball almost felt like it would be in full effect for Team WE after the end of that play.
And while the Lee Sin has emboldened Ambition to make proactive plays, it's meant the game has been so much more bloody than our previous game. 7 kills in the first 7 minutes or so, and that has largely been trading down for Samsung. They had the good start, but from there, the turret dive went amiss. The blue buff play also did not go to their advantage, and from here, WE have that instant gold, and we've always said this team revolves around getting gold early and playing towards the team fights. They were strangled out of gold in the previous game. This time, very difficult for Samsung to do that again.
Just amazing to see how the game has been played in the entirety of the top half of the map. 4JJ joining in so many of those skirmishes, but it's Team WE that have come out in the advantageous position. 2-0-2 for 957, 2-1-3 for Condi. Now we see them lead the way, right? With that cannon, with that Jarvan on the front foot, and then once Ben starts getting joins the fight, he can bring that utility of the Cosmic Radiance.
Yeah, still a very interesting game here. Cubase itemized into the Spectre's Cal. It's going to be harder for 957 to actually kill him. No turrets have yet died. Currently, though, pretty strong, obviously, on the cannon. That's why he picked into this matchup, but Team WE still has to continue executing these plays if they want to win this one.
Yeah, Cannon to Nara is a good matchup. 2-0-2 Cannon into 0-2 Nara is a pretty fantastic matchup, so can only go into the Spectre's Cal and farm max range from Q. Means that WE can do whatever they want top side. That's going to be surrendered by Samsung Galaxy, but Samsung on the bot side trying to get something.
All right, Cosmic Radiance has been thrown down by Ben. This will keep him alive, but how much longer is the question? Flash comes up from Mystic, Torch Flash comes down from Crown, and Ruler will secure the kill, but it's at the cost of Ambition and maybe an Infernal Drake. At this point in time, we've equaled the number of kills of the previous 39 minutes.
Yeah, that was not Ambition's best look.
No.
Right there. And for as organized as Samsung looked in Game 3, that was complete disorganization. Ambition stayed on Infernal Drake. Crown walked past him. A full fight happens bottom lane, and then Team WE just runs into him because, of course, they're going to collapse down on that bot lane fight and find you. So we're going to watch the start of this again. Ben and Mystic definitely getting aggressive, and Samsung do pull off the fight.
Yeah, Ambition could have pulled off Drake at any point during this. Just
get off Drake.
Get a second kill Ben. But Ambition stays too long. Doesn't even try to rush down. Knew he couldn't, and gets dunked by Condi. So a kill against the run of play after Samsung had prepped the bot lane play so cleanly.
And it completely wastes the Galio pressure because they get one kill, but they still lose their jungler, they still lose the Infernal Drake, and they also didn't get any turret damage. So Team W is going to be very happy with the outcome of that entire play.
Chaos is so exciting as now Ben and Mystic are shoving this wave down. Teleport is available for 957. It is also for QV and Crown as I'm looking at the summoner spells. First item pickup starting to trickle in, gentlemen. The Ardent Sense is completed for Ben already. Of course, he didn't go for that tier 2 upgrade. That's obviously going to speed it up.
Yeah.
But now we need to see whether or not WE can control the chaos, because it has felt fast and loose. And sometimes that can trip you up just as much as you can catch your opponent off guard.
Yeah, and it's for Team WE getting the counter ganks when the Galio does go in, but also being able to force their own fights. The Jarvan Taric looks so good when ahead and really poor from behind. So the fact that they are ahead in this game and can then also jump in with the cannon gives them a lot of tools to work with.
It was so close to Rage Blade and then inevitably a Hurricane, Cosmic Radiance, the item time is coming at the right time. We saw Ambition playing around bot side because they are in an Ardent Sense of deficit, so natural trades will likely go the way of WE with all the sustain coming through from that item. Condi rotates around the mid side as well. They want to find time for Rakan to back. He does so now to pick up the Ardent Sensor. They're now are outnumbered.
And it's still insanely hard for Team WE to pressure Galio whatsoever. Crown's got that adaptive helm, so that's why they're trying to go elsewhere. Talia's here, Terror called up. They might want to go.
All right, Seismic Shove didn't find any targets, but the Cosmic Radiance and Teleport was blown. 957 with the instant teleport down. Now where's the engage? CoreJJ can look for the flash.
Oh,
the
he did.
the quickness, the 3-man knockup into the hero's entrance. Look at the knockup and the damage down. 957 though with the slicing maelstrom is doing what he can to turn it around. It's too little, it's too late, and he's down. Crown gets another. Ruler got the first, and Ben will get hyper killed by Cube's Gnar.
All the threats separated there for WE. They could not consolidate their power. Cosmic Radiance used early for a dive. Samsung were already going to move backside because they didn't have Rakan there. They knew they were outnumbered. The re-engage from Samsung, though, was sick.
And CoreJJ has played so well this series on his Taric play, but also in finding that initiation, avoiding the first initiation by Team WE, so critical. And then, as you mentioned, the beautiful turn with the Rakan and Galio. It's exactly what Samsung needed to get back in this game.
I see the replay coming here. Ambition lying in wait. Wants to try to negate the Ardent Sensor, and this was already with the recall. Rakan's not here. You see the ult. Ambition's not going to actually take the Q in. He knows about the outnumbered. Means the cannon teleport doesn't lead to anything just yet. But wait for the turn from CoreJJ when the teleport comes in.
Yeah, and we see this beautiful move by CoreJJ. Crown as well teleports in so he can be in range for the wombo combo, still gets the knockup, and then Gnar is there at the right time.
I mean, Condi has everything up, but he's stuck just defending with Ambition topside. With Gia, they chase on to Ben. There's a kill there as well. 3 kills earlier was a big moment for WE. 3 clean kills here for Samsung, big for them too.
And as much as we compliment Samsung and CoreJJ for making that play, we have to criticize Team WE for their indecisiveness. If they're going to use the Taric ultimate that early and not dive, you must back away from the turret. And also, if you're not going to complete the dive, don't even complete 957's teleport in the first place and disengage. But they failed on both of those accounts, and they allowed Samsung to then make that big play.
And that's the equalizer. Even more than the equalizer, Samsung take the lead in the gold. Gonna steal away this blue Sentinel. They got themselves that bottom tower. And of course, they're gonna continue applying pressure. Rageblade completed now for both AD carries. And what was looking like such an exciting start for Team WE has now reset the state of the game and set us up for actually even more exciting team fights as we look at this mid-game phase.
Yeah, and Adaptive Helm is so insanely efficient against this team composition. Not only is it negating the magic damage from Kog'Maw, Talia and Kennen as well, both magic damage dealers who deal very similar types of damage, so the reduction there, beautiful. Also got to point out, Warrior from Condi, trying to counter that Adaptive Helm a little bit and still be a damage threat, but Talia Wall can't find its mark.
For a bit of playmaking there, doesn't find anyone, so just will be instantly cancelled from the Talia. I feel like there will be a point when you have Adaptive Helm, get the first damage item, maybe even just the Frozen Mallet for Gnar. And I think standing trades will likely go the way of the Gnar as the laning phase goes on. So the early phase certainly very hairy one for the Gnar, but it gets better, especially with the magic resist already complete.
Yeah, there was a little bit of help from Condi, using that Unraveled Earth to try and wave clear as best as he can, but Ruler got a bunch of auto attacks down. Already starting to hammer away, got the support on the rest of Samsung and Ambitions on the Rift Herald.
He's actually spotted, I believe, by the control ward, certainly pathing towards Rift Herald, so Condi's here.
Now try and steal.
I don't know if he will be able to. He's going to get picked up. Very good channel there on the flag and drag from Condi, setting ourselves up for another fight. But the buff was picked up by Ambition.
Yeah, Samsung got the objective, so no need to keep fighting. They will just move away from there. It seems like Crown's on a recall as well.
WE does have some pressure they can play around right now, though. They're going to get the push in the mid lane, and they can move down for the Cloud Drake if they want to, knowing that the recalls have happened, but instead they're opting to try and get topside control.
Yeah, traditional WE would look for the turrets, look for the instant goal, get closer the 2 items onto Mystic, so the deprioritization of Drake, they've shown the entire tournament continues, and Cube once again seems aware of this.
Temporarily flashless.
Oh, nice sidestep on that Seismic Shove, so didn't get caught out. Tower will take some good damage, actually will likely fall here. Now we start looking at Mystic. Currently on about 1,000 gold, will jump up a couple hundred after this tower push. And how much stock do you put in Mystic's Kog'Maw? He's 6-1 at Worlds. It's the Team WE carry the tip of the spear in many of their games. And he's going to get called upon again as we head past the 20-minute mark very, very shortly.
He's been real good on it. It's also a fairly difficult situation for him to succeed in. With the Recombo coming in with the heroic entrance onto all of the different tools Samsung can throw in for the dive. So, as we mentioned in the draft phase, just an insane prioritization on it, picking it that early when Ruler didn't even really show that much interest in picking it. But there's also the fact he's behind in the game, right? He has the Rage Blade, so when he hits his items, he will be a threat. He's just not there yet.
The Cosmic Radiance usage, is it going to be on the frontline divers or is it going to be saved? Try to help the Kog'Maw get through that part, I don't know. In the note here about the jungle proximity, Shia going to be very close to his jungle for the most of this game, trying to look for those plays, and certainly was invited to after that big play topside. As Ambition actually lets the Rift Herald visit the Raptor camp for once.
Yeah, there's a chance that that was a potential trinket usage fail, but they're also getting really good usage out of it. Strategically, it pushes them back mid lane and opens up room for the Cloud Drake. So we'll give that one a good grade.
Nicely done. Well done, Ambition. Samsung Galaxy pick up their first dragon of this particular game. They're up to, a few hundred gold. And we're even on towers. Okay, we're opening up the map now. 4 towers down, a dragon apiece, even on kills, even on gold. And it's starting to feel like vision is going to become more and more important. And it looks to me like Samsung have got the better end of the deal. Slightly deeper wards, but not by much.
And when it comes to playing out against this comp, because although there is that creeping feeling that Samsung can cement their position on the game, it's not there yet. It's still going to take multiple steps for them to recreate anything like the previous games. You have to remember that WE have a teleport flanker, and teleport flanks have become more and more uncommon in this current meta with the very extended team fights. So actually, always cementing those control wards on the side as they push forward, as they try to quest some of these inner turrets, is so important for Samsung. And given you don't have as much recent experience being focused on dealing with, say, a teleport AP cannon, there is always the chance you trip up on the execution.
And as far as flanks are concerned, though, 957 doesn't have any. The vision in the river is just completely controlled by Samsung. The best flank ward was just cleared, we saw on screen by Core JJ with that last sweeper. So also getting stuff from inside the Baron Pit, like Team WE's flying blind right now. They couldn't get a split push advantage off of 957's early kills on a cannon, and now they're stuck playing defense.
Yeah, and the observers, of course, just highlighting the other vision from Team WE and the difficulties that they're currently facing at this stage of the game. Samsung is just using that vision to steal away objectives. They've got another blue buff under their control. Team WE, I guess they're going to be okay being even. Remember, they've got this team comp that wants to be playing forward. You've seen the Taric when ahead and playing aggressive is completely different to Taric playing defensive, trying to use that Cosmic Radiance when you can't time it as effectively.
And a playstyle like this, where you play the map so aggressively, can be undone by the perfect teleport flank. But the other side of the coin is, you mess up the teleport flank, Baron is gone, an inhibitor is gone, you get one chance, you get one shot. And that is really where it is right here for WE. They will get some wards down. Will they be in the ideal position? No. Will some of them be swept? Yes. But it'll be all on one teamfight execution, because if they fail it, they will lose the maximum.
One opportunity to go. That's what Team WE are looking for. Black Cleaver to go with the Warrior, along with Condi. So he's going to get killed like a piece of paper once he jumps into these team fights. But if he gets the Cataclysm down, if he sets it up and locks Ruler in, when Ruler doesn't have Flash, that could be the game-changing moment.
Wants to kill Ruler. They want, if they can get a flank, right? It's all about, like, where's that one ward that can get into a deep spot? They have one of them right now. And if they can get the Flash burned on the first ultimate, then the second ultimate can catch them. But like Team WE is in a really difficult spot, as we mentioned, with the potential elimination from Worlds after one missed move. And then also the fact that they missed the move down in the bottom lane, which can add to the hesitation in this game.
And this feels like this series has been a lot of wombo combo comps from W. A lot of Jarvan X, Jarvan Cannon in this game. They've had other Jarvan duos. You completely understand how they can play, but the reliability of those comps starts to go away as they want to pick here.
They do indeed. It's going to at least get the Galio ultimate. That's a small victory. His Crown uses that Justice Punch defensively. So it's a small win in favor of WE.
All right, Galio ult is down. Team WE has Taric. They can't win the split push against the Gnar because Kennen can no longer kill that Gnar. This is where they have to get really aggressive. I would like to see Team WE actually force around Baron now that the Scuttle Crab is dead.
One of those things where, will it be a clean Baron? No, but we're forcing around Baron now. Will it be the best timing with the Hero's entrance up, perhaps, as QV and 957 a lot more even. They're looking to actually kill QV.
All right, threaded volley, not going to find any shots. A little hop over the minions. QV is just taking 957 and Shie on a run through the rift. Summoner heal was used as well, so not going to find their targets. And just to go back to setting up for Baron, setting up for a fight, Mystic's got himself a Hurricane, so the 2-item spike is fully activated.
Yeah, they also lost the heal from Shie because he was trying to chase after QV, so that is not the confident type of decisive play you would want to see out of Team WE when they have so many of these initiation tools, and now they're trying to regain Baron control, but the bottom lane is falling off.
Teleport.
Maybe this is it.
We're gonna find out. Slicing Maelstrom is available for 957. The flash engage coming down from Condi. Instant kick away from 957. And not a single flash blown on the side of Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, Hero's entrance also coming back up, but now they've run themselves out of options. Gnar split push is there, teleport is down, Team W got nothing for that.
Yeah, the vision toggle didn't show up, but the Q from Ambition would have hit Cannon if he went in a straight line, had to back away. Dodge it, wasn't there fast enough. Gnar gets a free turret here. They lose some control wards on Baron, but they get the big objective to Samsung Galaxy.
Man, it's now 4 towers to 2. It's a 2,000 gold lead. The 2-item power spikes for pretty much everybody is in place, but Samsung Galaxy are using the vision and their ability to play the map significantly better. They've started Baron.
And it's going to be incredibly difficult for Team W to stop this. Condi is flash, they have no vision inside. He could go for a steal, though. That's up in the air if Samsung stays on this.
Condi's done it before, but look at the flash taunt interrupted, secured by Ruler. Samsung peel away. Now Team WE trying to find the fight if they can. Crown is down. 957 flashes forward. Protobells to go in. Won't find a big stun, though. And the rest of WE cannot close the distance. 957 cover too many screens. Flash for flash, and the Weaver's Wall will slow down QV. I think he's going to have hop available fairly soon. Going back and forth on the autos. Mega Gnar's about to pop, but he crunches down over the wall. WE get a kill, but they lose Baron.
And Samsung is so good at this 4-1 split push game that forces the other team into decision making. After all these events, they get the vision control on this, and yes, Condi could steal. They see the standard, and Crown knows when he can get the taunt off. The Verisol hits at the same time. There is no chance for Condi to get inside that pit.
And it was necessary because Ambition did miss the smite. Didn't matter because the team had done the right move, interrupted the enemy smite, so Ruler able to pick it up from there. Crown gives up his life, but maybe didn't need to go so aggressive, but I guess there was no way out when he went to interrupt with the AoE taunt. They get out 4 members with the Baron. Still a success for Samsung Galaxy.
Where does that leave us in the state of the game? Samsung, we're already winning the map play. We're already running circles around Team WE. And now they've got Baron-empowered minions to do it even more. I mean, QV almost having the audacity to threaten some sort of Mega Gnar engage towards the end. He's just playing so confidently on this 9. He can take over even further.
Yeah, the split push is a cyclical thing that comes up in the meta sometimes when we're thinking about how the game actually develops. I feel like the Worlds patch has been super interesting in that way. We started off with all this like hard Righteous Glory engage, tank line, super late game team fights. Then we saw a lot of early game tempo start to be the name of the game with the Caitlyn. That also adapted with people getting better at neutralizing those laning phases because it became a bit of a lane push meta. But if you want a 5v5 team fight, the team that can consistently stifle your engage by keeping split push pressure can stop the team fighting teams. What was pushing it out of the meta, in my opinion, was the prevalence of like Righteous Glory engaged tanks. So it is interesting how there's no Righteous Glory tanks on this Team WE team, but also that they're just not as practiced of needing to play against this. This used to be an incredibly common style to play against. Samsung clearly super practiced at it, and now both SKT and SumSam may be on their way to the World Finals, mastering this way of playing the game.
Yeah, especially when Shie is unable to lock anybody in or find that seismic shove. They can't counter the playstyle, and individually right now, they are not finding the fights or the opportunities.
And on the world stage, at the semifinals, the pressure is so high. You say the way a team plays between scrims and stage is different. It changes to the semifinals as well, and 4-1 split push forces you into decision-making, and if you have any level of hesitation or passivity against it, you lose. And Samsung are the ones making the crisp and clear decisions.
And they're pulling them off near flawlessly. 28 minutes, they've used that Baron to already break open the middle inhibitor. Bottom lane is being shoved in by Crown. He's going to be in range for the Heroes entrance. Team W are on their last legs, their last opportunities to team fight their way out of this trouble. But it is just so difficult. Condi going to think about this Cataclysm, puts it down, but that's not going to interrupt the Heroes entrance, and that is just a mistake that you cannot afford when you are this far down into your base.
That was actually pretty funny, because Ambition had Ward hopped away, so it looked like he was jumping to no one, but Ambition previously was there on Lee Sin. There just is no easy fight. It feels like 3 games in a row. We've been at the point where W like, all right, we got our items, we're ready to go, this is our time, it's past 20 minutes, and yet Samsung keep running around the map, and I think Gnar has been the real story of the semifinals, because we knew that Jason Trundle, when we were talking about Huni, who is very much similar in style to what Cuvée is showing in this series. And you think about what that brings, tank buster, but also, crucially, does turret damage, has turret threat. Do you gank him and actually lose out on other parts of the map, or do you let him take your turret? And given that Gnar has straddled the line so well, and Huni and Cuvée have both shown it, you wonder what the next level is, because that certainly picks into the Gnar. I'm sure people already are praying for the Yasuo in the World Final. Who knows what could happen? But there's so much inching forward. We started with Cho'Gath Maokai. We've had the true carries. Now we're getting the hybrids between the two, and we still don't know where this hype train ends.
We're gonna find out, Papa Smithy, but before then, Samsung Galaxy need to close the line, cross over this final Nexus, and re-qualify for a World Championship final. I mean, that Baron timed out, just for what it's worth. They've secured 4 Barons against Team WE this series alone. And Team WE had only conceded a total 4 Barons in the previous stages of the tournament. It's just been such a great performance from Samsung Galaxy.
Do note the double Void Staff is complete for WE, and only a single locker on the much squishier poor JJ is complete on the side of Samsung. So good exhaust use, and also opting out of the big damage from the Wombo here is important for Samsung.
Yeah, but Samsung is also just never grouping up for which the Wombo could happen. So if you pull it off on one side, you're losing a turret on the other, and they've just never been able to match those answers aside from game 1, when they had the cash and Shen and they could pick off the split pushers, but not in control of this game whatsoever at this point.
All right, where are Team WE? Justice Punch interrupts Crown all the way out of the base? That was insane. That's not a interaction you see very frequently. Cuvé's Mega Gnar, by the way, timed out, and he's currently looking to get angry once more. That passive bar not available to stack just yet. The inhibitor has fallen. WE still have not pulled the trigger. It's a 6,000 gold deficit. They need to find something perfect, and they've got to get through Rula's flash as well as his heal. Mystic's flash is now down after Core JJ trades it for a flash quickness engage. Crown charges up the Duran shield, doesn't fire the trigger. Cuvé's about to get excited. Here comes 957 from behind. That's a dunk down. The Cosmic Radiance is buying some time. Rula flashes and heals to safety. He gets one. The Gnar into the wall. Triple kill picked up for Rula. Ben's flashed away to safety. Now she aced the target. Rula not gonna find the quadra kill as Crown takes him down, and Shanghai is silenced. Samsung are setting their sights onto the Nexus turrets. Ben is running for his life. Ambition will not be able to take him down. And Samsung Galaxy set their sights on the Summoners Cup. They take down Team WE and qualify for a rematch with SK Telecom in the Championship Finals.
Clinical is the word, Jad. Clinical is the word to describe Samsung Galaxy. After the game 1 missteps from level 1, from there they were able to play methodic. From there they denied all the Wombo engage that WE kept opting into. They do book that rematch with SK Telecom T1. Same roster expected to start, as we have not seen Haru outside of a single game. But kind of the amusing thing for me to take away is that we come into a world final with SK Telecom, and yet the cold, calculating, adaptive team is not SK Telecom. It's Samsung Galaxy.
Yeah, you ask me who played better during the bracket stage of this tournament between SKT and Samsung, and I think the answer is Samsung as far as the way they clinically destroy their opponents. You can talk about strength